Hey guys, I'm out here doing some new construction cleaning on some estimates on these windows, getting the stickers off, getting the drywall plaster off, and just kind of making sure that the windows are clean, making sure that they are acceptable for turning over to the customer. Bottom line up front, like getting them looking new again. So let's go inside the house and I'll show you some things that you guys need to look for when you're doing these windows that you won't always see just walking around the home. All right, so the obvious thing with these windows is they're gonna have stickers on them, stickers from the manufacturer. Now, most new windows, the middle of the sticker itself isn't glued, but the outside is. Luckily, these are kind of a plastic type wrapper, so they'll come off. A little bit of a soap solution and a razor blade will take this off, and that'll look nice and clean. But you've got these bits of drywall and paint that are stuck on these windows. All that stuff's gonna have to come off. Now, little stickers like this that are actual paper based, kind of a pain in the ass. Key thing about this is basically every house that you come in and do, you're gonna have to use a new razor blade on, because that glue, everywhere it's been exposed, where that stickers come loose, it's attracted and solidified all of that drywall compound. So all of this stuff has to come off. Things you need to look for is where people have smeared these while installing these windows. You want to be careful with that because they could have scratched that glass. Now, it's not so much of a problem on the inside because most of the insides don't have anything attached to them. But the outsides where you have these low E windows, all right, so depending on the rating is going to depend on the coatings that are put on the outside of these windows. So what you need to pay attention to is on these new energy efficient windows is if they have that bluish or greenish tint on the outside, you're not going to be able to razor that at all. Now this one here, if you can see that, that is some silicone sealant that has been left over. That's going to have to come off. But pretty typical. I mean, new construction, obviously, you know, the only guys that care about windows that come in these houses are the window guys. So everybody else just comes in, drywalls, paints, tapes, does whatever they think they need to do. Now, one thing I want to show you, this one here got hit with a pretty good amount of drywall. All of these have the stickers left on them. They're straight out of the box, installed in the house. But on the edges where they have come back and touched up this paint, all that's going to have to be cleaned up. It's a fairly simple process. Basically just wet the window down, come in with your razor blade and just run it right all the way down this. What you don't want to do is interrupt any of the seals. So cramming your razor blade in there with force is not going to work. But things like this right here, where this trim is broken, you guys need to pay attention to that all the way down. So you guys need to pay attention to that when you're doing these estimates, because that stuff right there will come back to bite you whenever the window guys come back in. If they have to come back in and do a repair, or if they have to do anything, it's basically your word against theirs. So I've got 3 houses I've got to look at this afternoon. So I'm going to walk you through all 3 of them, depending on if there's stuff that's different. Now there was one window back here, this one. If you can see it, this one has got some really nice scrapes on it. And what it looks like is, if you can see the brownish tint, what it looks to me like from initial inspection without actually rubbing it, is it looks like they may have gotten some of the mortar mix from this wall on this window, and rather than just letting it dry and it having been taken off professionally in the right manner, it looks like what they did was they took a rag and immediately scratched that stuff off the glass. And so some of this, about 90% of it, may come off, but this is stuff you guys need to be aware of when you're doing these estimates, because if that doesn't completely come off and you don't have pictures of it beforehand, or you didn't identify it to your builder that you're doing the estimate for, that's your bad. You were the last person that touched that glass. So, you know, you guys need to be aware of that stuff. And it's all over back here on these windows. So me taking this video is obviously enough, but what I'm going to do is talk to the builder and say, hey, you know, over there on Waterford Drive or whatever street it is, you just, whatever you want to talk to your builder and you guys have your relationship build up, you're going to handle it in your own personal way. But for me, you know, X number of windows, these windows have these problems. I just want you to know the back door's got a busted piece of trim. That way that conversation has been had. Worst case scenario is you come in with good intent, just trying to do a good job, and then somebody, maybe not the builder, probably not if he knows you and he knows what kind of work you deliver, but somebody else is going to pass that stone to you. So up here on these frames, all right, all that drywall compound that's got to come off. You see that overspray on those frames? That's got to come off. Right here we got paint where they did that lower frame. I'm not sure if they're going to have me do the shower door. I'm not real worried about it if they do. Big chunk of drywall there. Now most of this stuff will come off. You know, you take a wet razor blade and you'll slide that underneath that sticker and that one, your orange one there. That stuff's going to come off super easy. The inside, the pain in the ass about it is dealing with the drywall mud. 4/0 steel wool and some very, very light pressure and a lot of soap is the way you want to go. And you guys look at this window right here and you can see, if I get to the side a little bit, you kind of see that haze where that drywall mud's been kind of caked on there. It may be hard to see in the camera there, but all that stuff's got to come off. I know when we're doing conventional window cleanings in homes, most of us come in and we're like, hey, it's glass only. I don't scrape, I don't paint, I don't seal. I come in, clean the glass. Simply because we are charging for a conventional clean. We're not charging for a restoration. But these jobs in these new homes, this is your opportunity. For every window cleaner that comes in afterwards, whether it's you or somebody else, this is your opportunity to fix that, make the window perfect, and charge for that. That one there out on the front, that's on the outside. So I'm going to figure out what that is. It looks like it's been wiped clean because it's a downward drip. But if you get close enough in there, you can see those sideward scrape marks. So what it looks to me like is they got some water out of their mortar coming off the brick, running down on the glass, and they immediately just wiped it right off. Did a crappy job about it, but that's part of the deal. So that one there. All right, that's mortar mix on the outside there. So you got to differentiate. You really got to look at these windows and you got to tell the difference between what's mortar mix, what's paint, and what's just drywall. Drywall on the inside, obviously mortar mix on the outside. But going back to what I was saying, this is your opportunity to charge as necessary to do the service and make it right. So that next year, when that client calls you saying, hey, I need a window cleaner to their builder refers you back to this house, and you come back in for that annual, you will have no excuses for why that window isn't perfect. Because first off, you did the new construction cleaning on it. So you should have charged appropriately. You should have provided a perfect product. So blaming it on the window guy when the windows were installed isn't going to fly anymore. So that's where your time is going to come into play. With our typical window cleaning, I mean, what are we out? We're out maybe, I mean, on big jobs, a half a gallon worth of soap, a couple pads worth of steel wool, and our time. So on these jobs, you're charging for your time. Whatever you think your time is worth, that's what you're going to have to deal with. And that one's got a sticker on the outside, so I'll have to deal with that. But let's walk outside and see just what kind of tent film we're dealing with what kind of low E coatings we're dealing with. All right, so here's the outside of that window where that sticker is. As you can see, may be able to tell in the sunlight, but this window's got a green tint to it. And what that is that's a UV reflective coating. So when I take this sticker off, what I'm gonna do is just soak it down. I'm gonna put some Goof Off or some WD-40 on it for just a second. Not enough to really soak in and do anything. What I'm gonna do is work that sticker down, take that off in a nice smooth fashion. I do not want to use any type of razors or steel wool on the outside of this window because definitely being right dead center of the window in a bedroom, it's going to be seen. It's going to be noticed. So there's no hiding those types of defects if you get it wrong. All right, so I'm in house number 2. House number 2 and house number 3, basically same things going on. Ready to come in, do the windows inside and out, and then as soon as they come in here in the next week and lay the sod, then I'll be able to do the outside. Typical post-construction cleaning that you guys have seen in my other videos. Now, the difficulty with this house is that even though it's a new construction cleaning, they've already come in trying to put this house on the market because essentially the interior, other than appliances, is finished. So what they're doing is they're staging the house, which means that they've already got furniture and some stuff set up in different rooms. But the big thing is that they've installed the blinds on these windows. Still got all the stickers, still have the mortar mix, drywall, the big bulk of everything. It looks like it's been kind of scraped off by the window guys, but just an added thing I'm gonna have to deal with in cleaning these windows. So also have the screens installed already. So when we step outside, you'll get a good look. And basically what we've got is the typical, you know, stickers on the glass. Same thing that you saw in the first house. And along with some mortar mix and some drywall compound on the inside that's been left. But what I'm gonna do is try to set these up, these 3 homes, set these up for after they come in and do the side. So the yard's been raked, it's been leveled, it's ready to go. So as soon as they come in and knock that out, you're ready to get some work done. Now on these homes, let me flip the, on these homes, these are the same builder that I do all the garages and the dirt skirts and the driveways for. So in addition to doing the windows, what I'm going to do is basically for my process, just to keep from getting the inside of the house trashed, which is never good. I'm going to do the inside windows, come out, do the driveways, garages, and the dirt skirts. And then the last thing I will do would be the outside windows and put the screens back in. So looking at, I think I can get it all done in about 3 hours by myself. So things to consider when you're looking at new construction and you're doing estimates. You know, you're going to have to price accordingly for whatever your area is, and you know, account for your time, whatever your time is worth. So take that and run with it. If you guys got any questions, like, subscribe, put your comments in the comments box below, and maybe I'll do another video if you guys have more questions. Get back to you.